The diet and fitness industry has lied to you. I'm not talking about false magic pills and quick fixes when I say that you've been lied to about your diet and workouts. Actually, I see the problem as something else. The disconnect between trainers, coaches, dietitians, and professionals and the people they want to help. What keeps us stuck in this yo-yo dieting cycle is oddly the gap between what we should ideally do and what is realistic for our lifestyle. Because food is not just truly fuel any longer. It's social, it's celebration, it's emotional, it's enjoyment. Yet instead of recognizing this and striking a balance, weighing the costs and rewards of everything for ourselves, we seek to be perfect and hit some arbitrary standards of clean eating, only to create unsustainable habits which ultimately backfire. These unsustainable habits keep us stuck, losing the weight only to regain it and more, especially as we fall back into old lifestyle patterns and try and do things we enjoy. We never learn to create the healthiest version of our personal lifestyle. That's why I wanted to go over 4 common diet and exercise myths I see pushed far too often in the diet and exercise realm. One size doesn't fit all, and we need to accept the opportunity and options to find our balance. How we build our 80-20 balance will be unique. Myth number 1, X food is evil. Pick a food and you can probably find a video, blog, article, even a study that tells you how bad it is for you. According to a commenter on one of my videos, even water is bad for you. And honestly, almost every food does have a downside to the upsides it provides. That doesn't make a food evil. It doesn't even mean the food may not be part of our lifestyle balance. But we just have to go in knowing how it will impact our overall health and well-being. And sometimes the risk is worth the reward. Sometimes something unhealthy we may choose to include because we enjoy it. It helps us relax, enjoy social gatherings, or even just serves as the treat on a stressful day while keeping us overall on track working towards our goals. Because stress overall can have detrimental effects. It's sometimes more important we include something that doesn't add to our stress, or that even takes away from it. This is better than restricting a food just because it might not be as nutrient dense or as beneficial as something else. We have to remember that all stress goes in one bucket. While we may see stressors in our lives as in separate categories, stress at work, stress to change habits, stress at home, or stress on our body from lack of sleep, all impact our mind and body compounding together. So sometimes finding little ways not to add to our stress and overwhelm ourselves is key, so we can actually make healthy changes to our lifestyle overall. Sometimes it is that we need to pick the lesser of 2 evils to meet ourselves where we're at to make changes. So stop demonizing things and stop trying to force someone else's standards of healthy and balance on yourself, because one size doesn't fit all. Even healthy foods can be unhealthy or not right for certain people. For example, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage have been linked with many health benefits, such as a reduced risk of cancer and heart disease. But these same nutritious vegetables we all believe to be amazing contain compounds called thiocyanates, which can interfere with the body's ability to absorb iodine. This may contribute to hypothyroidism, and it's why those with thyroid issues might be told not to eat quote-unquote healthy foods sometimes. Same thing can be said for those with dairy intolerances, gluten intolerances, and issues with FODMAPs. Foods that might be healthy or right for one person may not address the health concerns of another. But we don't need to just demonize something just because it isn't right for somebody else. That may even hold us back from getting the nutrients or fuel we need to succeed. Stop seeing foods as just good or bad. Weigh the costs involved to find your balance. Myth number 2, weight loss is just about calories in versus calories out. Yes, you need a calorie deficit to lose weight. I'm not saying that calories don't matter, but this oversimplification is truly what so often keeps people stuck on this dieting roller coaster. They cut calories, they lose weight, but they can't stay in a deficit forever. So they go back to eating more and their old lifestyle habits only to regain the weight and even more, before they again try and cut calories to lose the weight. However, it gets harder and harder each and every time we do this due to our sole focus on calories in versus calories out. Why does it get harder? Because often when we're focused only on cutting calories, we slash them as low as possible to lose as quickly as possible. And in the process, we throw our hormone levels out of whack, creating cravings that lead to us overeating, leading to even extra weight gain. And we've often also created metabolic adaptations in the process, which means our body even runs more efficiently off of fewer calories than it did before. This is often due to us slashing our calories super low, or trying to train longer and harder to create a deficit. And this is because we're only focusing on calories in versus calories out. This extreme deficit to lose faster on the scale results in more muscle being lost, over controlling as much as possible to lose fat while maintaining our muscle. So as much as yes, the simple answer to lose is to create that calorie deficit, this oversimplification keeps us stuck. And it's why we often struggle more and more as we get older to lose the weight, especially once the hormonal changes of perimenopause hit. If we want to set ourselves up for success, we need to embrace the learning process and focus on the macronutrients in our foods, the portions of proteins, carbs, and fats that we're consuming. Because through adjusting these portions, we can help ourselves feel more fueled, retaining muscle mass to keep our metabolic rate higher, and we can help ourselves be prepared to transition to maintaining our new results. You can't do one thing to lose the weight and then go back to what you were doing. And you can't stay in a deficit forever. Through a focus on tracking macros, you can help yourself retrain your body to return to a new maintenance level calorie intake so that all of your hard work doesn't go to waste. Myth number 3, HIIT is the best form of training for fat loss. HIIT, or high intensity interval training, is an efficient and intense form of training. It's definitely a great option when we're short on time. And as the term is used these days, it can refer to a variety of different interval breakdowns and include a diversity of exercises. And as much as I even love HIIT personally and do use it with clients, I think it's key we recognize that there are downsides to every tool and technique. The more we recognize both the good and the bad, instead of just seeing things as either or, the more we can adjust our training and fueling to match our needs and goals as they even evolve over time. Too often, we also fall in love with the technique, then start to see our results slow or issues pop up. Yet we eliminate some other change we've made, assuming causation when there was none. We can ultimately throw out something we should keep doing, instead of adjusting something we've always done prior, just because we like it or we feel like it's working. And HIIT is often one of these things. While definitely an option to consider when you're short on time, too often we do more HIIT style training while also trying to increase our calorie deficit to lose fat. As a result, we often see our energy levels tank, and we aren't able to push as hard in our training. We can also start to lose more muscle mass and see our cravings increase. By trying to do more intense training sessions while in a calorie deficit already, we can make it harder on ourselves to maintain the nutritional changes we're trying to make. So we always need to consider the systems and how they're working together. We may need to change up a HIIT cardio session for a slower strength workout with longer rest periods. Or we may need to adjust the work to rest interval in the interval workout we're doing. Or even knowing how depleting HIIT can be, or the fact that for some it can make them feel even hungrier and increase their cravings for carbs, you can plan for those downsides in your fueling. HIIT isn't something you have to do to lose fat. It also isn't something you shouldn't do. The key is learning about the techniques and workout designs we choose to include so we can plan for all of the systems to work together. While it can feel satisfying to have sweated and worked hard in our workouts, we also want that hard work to be moving us forward instead of being wasted effort. Myth number 4. Workouts are about burning more calories. There isn't anything wrong with tracking your calories burned from your activity to watch your trends and hold yourself accountable. But too often we're training just to get that number higher, over training with purpose and intentionality. This often leads to us turning our strength workouts into cardio sessions. Less rest and feeling more out of breath often leads to a higher heart rate on our trackers, which then results in more calories being burned. And always focusing on doing more and making our training more intense can cause some to suffer increased cravings and a harder time sticking with the dietary changes they need. Not to mention, it can work against our muscle gaining efforts. It can also lead to us unknowingly eating in a surplus over a deficit. It's key we realize that these trackers are not accurate. The calorie burn is going to be off, especially as we adjust to our training. And while it might seem like it's no big deal to be just 50 or 100 calories off at times, that can really lead to us eating over our deficit, especially if we're trying to create a smaller one to make sure that we're losing fat as we maintain our muscle. Not to mention, it makes it harder to track what truly isn't working when our intake is fluctuating day to day based on what our calorie tracker is telling us. Stop seeing the purpose of your workouts as just a way to burn more calories. Remember, you can't out-exercise your diet. Trying to create more of a calorie deficit through your training is gonna either lead to overtraining or overeating. You'll either have to keep doing more to keep burning the same amount of calories you once did, or if you let your watch dictate how many calories you get, you'll start overeating because often our watches won't fully recognize we become more efficient at the training routines. And our workouts should be about building lean muscle while training our body to move well. We want our workouts to help us stay strong for life, so we can remain independent and capable. Not to mention, a focus on strength work helps us build the muscle mass, which will help us burn more calories at rest, since our metabolic rate and energy demands will be higher. So while you want to do forms of training that you enjoy to stay consistent and active, you also want your workouts to have long-term benefits, because you want to be able to tackle any challenge challenge that life throws your way. So often we view things as solely good or bad, instead of weighing the costs and rewards to find our balance. When we don't view the opportunity in each option, we don't allow ourselves to truly create something sustainable. And this, while good for the diet and fitness industry, is not so helpful for us to see the results we want. Seek to really learn about what you need and be open to new perspectives so that you can always adjust and adapt based on your needs and goals as they change over time. If you like the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.